Hey everyone, good to see you. Well, this angle here is a little bit different than what I normally use on this channel. Normally I am facing that way with the camera here, over here behind the desk, and normally I just get rid of all this stuff. I push everything off the table here, and this is my key light that I typically use. And up here is a boom arm for the shotgun mic that I use. And normally I do everything this way. Everything is set up for here, but because of what I'm going to be talking about in this video today, everything had to come over this way and we had to shoot from this direction because I'm going to be talking about this light that you see up here on top of my iMac. This light is called the ScreenBar Plus and it is made by display manufacturer BenQ. Now, in full disclosure, BenQ did provide me with this light. They sent this over to me about 3 months ago. And I have to admit, when I first got it, I thought, yeah, okay. I mean, it seemed like kind of a cool thing, but I wasn't really sold on the idea of having a light, like on top of my display, because this is where I edit, photos. This is where I edit videos for this channel. It's where I'm working. So I decided to give it a try and I started using it, started testing it out, and the light ended up in a couple of my videos. And after it did, I had people reach out to me and they're like, what is that light on top of your display? What is that thing? And besides, if you're into photography like I am, well, you probably spend a fair amount of time in front of a display editing images. So it's always nice to have things which I think make your environment a little bit better. So in the spirit of that, we're going to be taking a look today at the BenQ ScreenBar Plus. So as you can see, the ScreenBar Plus is an LED light strip. And this LED light, it kind of straddles the top of your display, and you can use it on an iMac, you can use it obviously on a BenQ display, you can use it on any kind of display that you're currently using. And one of the things I really like about this light is that it is powered through USB. So there's not a separate power converter or adapter or anything like that. You just put it on top of your computer, plug it into an available USB port, and you have power. The LED light is inside of this enclosure here that you can twist back and forth. And there's also a counterweight on the back of the light that you can use to push the light backwards or pull it forwards. And basically what you're doing here is you're adjusting the beam angle. You're getting the screen bar into just the right position because every display is going to be different. They all have different contours, different dimensions, different shapes. And once you get the screen bar just so, well, 3 things happen. 1, you're not looking directly into like a strip of light. There shouldn't be any glare hitting your eyes. 2, the light shouldn't be touching your display. There shouldn't be any light illuminating the front of it here. And 3, you want the light to be casting directly down onto this workspace down here in front of you, where you might have a notebook, you might have a book, you might be taking notes, whatever it is that you're doing. It's just this really nice, soft, ambient light that is just casting directly down here in front of your display. And what I really like about the screen bar is how clean and minimal it is. It's practically invisible because it just lives up here on top of the display. And there's no table lamp here. There's nothing else. There's nothing to knock over. It's just up there. It's out of the way, and I'm able to turn it on whenever I want it. Now, speaking of turning the light on and off, you do so using this puck here. Now this puck is weighted, it's grounded, it has a nice rubberized kind of grip down here on the bottom so that when you put it down on your desk, or I keep mine under here in this kind of shadowy cove underneath the iMac, it doesn't slip around. It doesn't move around underneath your hands when you're using it. It has just a really nice weight to it. To control the light, there's a big knob here in the center and you just push the knob in, that turns it off, push it again, it turns back on. Pretty self-explanatory. There are 2 modes on it. There's a mode for brightness and a mode for color temperature. I have it set to brightness right now. This is actually maximum brightness, and I can turn it down to its lowest setting, and that's the lowest setting. So not the greatest range, but honestly, you really don't need that much range, I don't think. And it may be kind of hard to see on video, but there is a pretty big difference between the lowest setting and the brightest. And I typically don't use brightest. I tend to turn it down just a little bit, but I'll keep it up for video because it probably looks better. So color temperature. So there's a little button over here on the right, and you just push this button that switches the mode from brightness to color temperature. I tend to keep mine like around a neutral, cool color, something around 5600 Kelvin, just so that it's not affecting my eyes if I'm doing any kind of photo editing work or something. But you have the option of turning this all the way down to get something a bit warmer, something a bit more tungsten. Now, if you're not sure what kind of brightness, what kind of color temperature you want, there's an eye up here in the front or at the top of the puck up here. And this is the automatic setting. And there's a button over here on the left of the puck, and we're going to give this a shot, see what it does. And this just automatically sets brightness and color temperature to what the ScreenBar thinks is right for you. So I'm going to push that, and it's going to blink, and looks like it turned it a little bit warmer than what I would use. So you know that it's currently in auto mode when this button over here turns green. There's like a little green light around it. And then you know that it's automatically sensing light, so that if lighting in your space changes, the ScreenBar will adapt and conform to whatever's going on around you. Personally, I just like to have mine always, in a particular setting. I like for it to be consistent, so I tend to set mine myself. And right about there looks right to me. So yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say about the BenQ ScreenBar Plus. I mean, it's clean, it's simple, it's minimal, it lives up there, it powers over USB, and whenever I come down here and I'm going to work on something, I can just turn the light on and off like that. And it has really grown on me. I mean, as I said earlier, I was a little unsure about it. I was kind of like, I don't know about having a light on top of my display, but it puts out, I think, just the right amount of light. It really takes the edge off of the room if you're working in a dark room, because I don't like to work in a room that's like completely dark with no light at all except the display, because I think it's kind of bad for your eyes. Just take some of that edge off, and I think really helps with eye fatigue as well. And it's just nice being able to read, anything that you have down here in front of your display as well while you're working. So if this is something of interest to you, if you want to check this out, I will link to it below in the description, and yeah, check it out. If you have any questions about it, if you want to know something more, feel free to leave a comment below, and you can also reach out to me over at Instagram. Follow me over at Instagram, send me a direct message. Feel free to ask a question if you'd like. Hope this video was of interest. I know this is a little bit different than the types of things that I normally talk about here and the types of products I normally review or feature, but I thought it might be of interest because people were asking about it. So there you go. All right. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something from it, always remember to give it a thumbs up. It'll help bring more people to the channel, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. That's it for me, folks. I'll see you next time.